am Chitranjanjeet Kaur, Assistant Professor, Computer Science and Engineering, SEDA E of GNA University. This is our second day in the journey of Python programming. Today we will learn about the basics like variables, data type, indentation and input function. Today we will explore these basics of the Python programming. So let's start our journey with the next slide. Now, indentation. Python indentation, it's not just a style, it is a syntax in the Python. Python promotes readability, clarity, consistency, maintainability, which make it popular choice among the developers across various domains. Now, indentation refers to the spaces at the beginning of code. Where in other programming language the indentation in the code is for readability only, but in the Python it is very important. Python uses indentation to indicate the blocks. We will see practical example further in this lecture. As I have said earlier, indentation is not just a style, it is a syntax in the Python. Python promotes readability. We all will see it in the next practical questions. Now, next basics in the Python is the command. So different types of commands we use in the Python. So single line command, multiple line command with the double quotes as well as with the 3 single quotes. In the Python, commands are annotations within the code that are ignored by the interpreter during the execution of the program. These are used to add the explanation, documentation or the temporary notes to the code. Single line commands is denoted with the hash symbol and continue until the end of line. Anything after hash on the line is considered to be comment. Multi-line commands are enclosed within the triple quotes, that may be a double inverted quotes or the single inverted quotes. Now next, variables. Variable is like a label we give to a place in the computer memory. In Python, a variable that holds the value is also called identifiers. So there are some rules for the variables, like variable name must be begin with the letter or with the underscore. They cannot be start with the number. They can only contain the numbers, letters and underscore. Variable name are case sensitive. Like if we write age is equals to 24, A with the capital letter and age all with the lowercase letters are different. Now how we assigning values to the variable? As in the lecture 1 we have done that Python allows the dynamic typing, which means that you don't need to declare data types. A type automatically assigned on the basis of value. So we can also assign the multiple values to the variable, like A is equals to B is equals to C. These are 3 are different variables and we give one value to it, like a Python in double inverted quotes. It means that it is a string type and we give this value to A, B as well as to C. And if we write x is equals to y, x comma y comma z is equals to 10, 20 and 30, it means we give 10 value to the x, 20 value to the y and 30 value to the z. Now if we declare the variable, now time we check like what kind of variable it is. So for that, type function is used to check what kind of variable it is. Like here we write x is equals to 10, y is equals to 10.5 and z is equals to hello, which is a string. And when we write the print type x, it will give integer value. And if we write print type y, it will give the float value. Similarly, if we write type z, it will give string value. To conclude, variables are the building blocks in the Python programming. They help us to restore, reuse and manipulate the data easily. In the next lecture or in the next slide, we will see how the variables and different data types are there. Now, data types in the Python. Data type is a programming. In the programming is referred to the type or the kind of data that a variable or object can hold. It defines the set of values that a variable can take and the operations that can be performed on those values. So there are different kinds of data types in the Python. Number one is integer, that is int. It represents the whole number, both positive and negative, without any decimal point. Next is the float. It represents the numbers with the decimal points or in the exponential notation. String is a sequence of characters as a letters, digits or the special characters enclosed under the single or the double quotes. Now next is boolean, which is also known as bool, represent as one of the two possible value, true and false. It is used for the logical operations. Now further in data types, there are lists that represent an order collection of the item, which can be of different data types and can be mutable. So it is we write this data type in the square brackets. After each item we put a comma, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These all are the items of the list. Similarly, tuples, similar to list but immutable. Immutable means that these are unchangeable. It represented by the parenthesis instead of the square brackets. So we declare the tuples in the parenthesis. Similar to the list, we write the comma between each item. But tuples are not modifiable, whereas the list is modifiable. Further in data types, we have dictionary, DICT, represent the collection of key value pair, where each key is associated with its value. It's enclosed in the curly braces, like a person, name John, age 30, city New York. Here name is the key value and John is the value for it. Similarly, age is a key and 30 is the value for it. Similarly, city is the key and New York is the value for the same. So it is represented in pair like a key and value. Sets, it represents an unordered collection of the unique elements. It enclosed in the curly braces but without key pair value. So sets all as in this we have seen that set is a collection of unique elements. But if we declare like 1 2 times or 2 times, similarly with the 3 and 4, in the set this value is considered only once, like the sets in math. Now Python also need the input from the user. For that we have a function known as a input, which is used to take the input from the user. It is a built-in function used to take a input from the user during the runtime. Like input is built-in function, fine. So this is the syntax for it: variable input enter something. So if you want to print the name of some person, like name, so when we input something, the name variable contain that value and that value will print here. Now input function also need to take integer type as well as float. We need to declare int here if we want the integer value. Similarly, we need to write the float here if we want to take a float value. We will see all these during the execution part. Now move to our practical part for the same. Okay, now we will do our practical part. In the presentation part, I have tell you about the basics of the Python. So comment like this: basics Now first of all we have done the indentation. So if I write print hello world here, and I want to write another thing, print. So what we will see in this IDE, we get this red line over there. So if we want to run this, let's see what kind of error it will give. Python 2_basic.py. So it will give indentation error over here. We can clearly see indentation error. So this is the indentation in Python. So if I write it like this, then we get a proper output over here. After that, we have done different commands in Python. So as we have seen already here that with the hash we can give the single line command, and if I want to give the multiple line command, I have to write triple quotes. In triple quotes I will write hello, this is multiple line command. So if I write enter here, if I put enter here, it will remain command. Fine. Now let's run this program, Python. So we get this. Fine. Okay, one thing more, if I write 3 like hello, this is also a multiple line command. So similarly, it is not the part of execution, but we get the output of hello world. This is a basic of Python over here. Now if I want to write like if I want to write one line more, so this will also remain the comment. So this is about the indentation. And second, we have done the different types of command like single line commands, multiple line commands with the double inverted quotes as well as with the single inverted quotes. Now variables. Now next is variables in Python. Now rules for, first of all let's take one example. A is equals to 10, B is equals to 20.3, C is equals to 1 string. Now I want to see what kind of types of variables are these. So if I write print type A and print type B, print type C. Now let's check the answer for it. So this will be integer type, B will be float type, and string is C is a string type. So this is the different kinds of variables we give. So if I write D is equals to true and I want to check it type, so similarly print type D we write over here, and let's check it. So we get the bool. So this is boolean type. So these all are the basic types of variables, int, float, string and bool. Fine. So next is the rules for the variables. 1D is equals to 5, 3. So this can't be any variable. So if we write A underscore B, so this will also be a variable. So if I write so print A, let's check the answer. So we get 20 over here. So it's already a variable, and if we want to check it type, print type, so we get integer type. Now next, further in this lecture we have done the input function. After variable we will do input function. So input, like if we want the user that it should give some input on the execution time or during the run time, we use the input function for it. Right here, name, input, enter your name, and after that we write print hello plus name. This plus is for the concatenation. In the string lecture we will do this in detail. Now enter your name, so I am writing Jeet here, and hello Jeet will be the output over here. Now if I write like A is equals to input enter a number, and b is equals to input another number, and I want the sum of both. Then I write print a plus b. So let's check the answer for it. Name, okay, this is the previous. Ajit, hello Ajit will be there. Enter one number, I am giving 3 here, another number 4 here, so it will give 34, but a plus b should be 7, but we get the 34 here because by default the input take a string type. Now how we make the input to be integer or float? We use a equals to int input type, and in second number is also in the int, and here we get print a plus b. Now let's me make this, delete this. Now check the output for it. So enter number 3 and we get 33 because here we don't take a int before the input. So now if we write a 3 here and 3 here, we get the 6 answer over here. So if we want that user input to be a integer type or float type, we have to declare before the input function. So similarly, if we want to take a floating value over here, so we write a equals to float, b is equals to float number, and input enter the number. Similarly, b float, enter another number, print a plus b. Now let's check this. So we get a 5 here, and if I write 2.3, 4.3, and I get 6.6. So here is one concept more about the typecasting. Now what is typecasting? When it is explicit as well as implicit, we will do all these in detail, but now when we are using this, that here we use the int here and float here. Now you should have the knowledge of typecasting. Here if I write a plus b, that it already get 6.6 because it implicitly change a plus b into the float type. So this kind of thing is typecasting. We will do that in the detail. Now this is all for today's lecture. In the next we will do about the string functions and more about the data types like list, dictionaries, sets, etc. Thank you.
एक थोड़ी क्लोजिंग लाइन दोबारा करें.
Okay. Barabe kama?
हाँ.
Okay. Okay, so this is all for now. In the next lecture, we will dive into the details of all different kinds of data types like sets, dictionaries and all, and the further in the Python like the string, etc.